Okay, what we've got here is we've got for a Fiero what's a classic clutch problem, wherein we can't seem to get it in any gear or out of any gear when we press on the clutch. So what we want to do is check the clutch system for leaks. We want to bleed the system thoroughly to be sure there's no air in the lines anywhere. Check it for leaks again, and then see if that resolves our problem. Okay, first thing we're going to do is top off the master cylinder for the clutch. And if you notice the color of the liquid down in there, it's brown and dirty. That means there's water in the system over years, so this has probably never been flushed out. Now that we've topped off the master cylinder, we're just going to pump the clutch a couple of times to see if we're getting any motion, since up until now the clutch has failed completely. Okay, we want to check the existing clutch action. So in order to do that, we're going to remove the intake tube so that we can expose the slave cylinder and get a better look at what's going on. Now what we're going to watch is the slave cylinder here and what's happening in here. Okay, at this point we've determined that the clutch system seems to be sound, so we want to do a bleed. And what we're going to do in this case is what's called a gravity bleed. And we're going to do that so we don't have to sit in the car and pump the pedal. And basically all that means is we're going to lift the front end of the car higher than the back end and just let the fluid bleed through on its own. What we're going to watch for is we're going to go ahead and open this front cylinder up and just leave it open. And we're going to watch the fluid as we open up the back. We don't want to let the fluid in the front run down or we'll get more air in. So we're just going to monitor back to front, back to front. What we're going to do is open this bleed screw. Let the fluid run out. There we go, it's starting to run. We're just going to let that fluid run through the system and push all the air and the debris out. Okay, at this point we've pushed a lot of fluid through the system. We don't have any reason to suspect there's air in it, but we're still not getting good clutch action. It almost seems like we're not getting enough pressure. So before we would go the route of actually dropping the engine to address the clutch directly, we're going to take a look at the master cylinder, and even though we're not seeing any leakage in the system, see if we're getting bypass around the valve.